So today's scripture comes from Matthew chapter 10, verses 16, and it says, "Look, I am sending you out as sheep among wolves. So be as shrewd as snakes and as harmless as doves." Why is this instruction so important that Jesus gives his 12 disciples before they go out into the world? Well, we would be a fool to believe that everyone has good intentions for us, that everyone just keeps us in mind and we're all one big happy family, right? So the Lord makes sure that he says, be as shrewd as snakes. What does shrewd mean? It means to be aware of your environment, aware of people motives towards you. Why did he use snakes? Because they're very creative, right? They're very creative, they're very aware of their surroundings. Even as you see in the book of Genesis, the snake was very creative with the words of, "Are you sure?" Right? "Are you sure God said you can't eat this?" Right? He was very creative with making sure that he caused doubt and that it was their decision, right? And so you want to be as shrewd, as smart, as crafty, as creative, as aware of a snake. But he also says, be harmless as a dove. Well, in the world, if someone is trying to run game on us, if someone is trying to get over on us, usually that leads to harsh words or harsh punishment, right? Usually that leads to cussing someone out or fighting, right? Because you're trying to get over on us. Now we're angry. But the Lord knows that when you start following him, he gets rid of that jealousy. He gets rid of that anger. He gets rid of, those curse words. He gets rid of that. So he wants you to be as harmless. So even though you're aware that someone is trying to get over on you, it is important for us to remove ourselves out that environment, away from the person with ill intent, because he wants us to be as harmless as doves. He wants us to live like him. He wants us to talk like him, move like him, right? And so how do I know that he does not want you to stay in these situations and have an argument, have a disagreement, make your way known? Because in verse 14, it also says, "If any household or town refuses to welcome you or listen to your message, shake its dust off from your feet as you leave." As you leave, do not stand there and make your point. Do not stand there and make them like you, make them change their ways, right? Once you understand that the environment is shady, is not right for you, if the person has ill intent or the wrong motive, because you were shrewd when you met that individual and you were aware of the surroundings and what was going on, to be as harmless as a dove, you must remove yourself from that situation. Do not stand there and play silly games, because you will get a silly prize, right? You play a crazy game, you get a crazy prize. That's how it works. To follow these instructions, you have to remove yourself from the situation. Do not go where you are not wanted, right? You do not need to read a book for this. You do not need to pay coaches for this. It's in the scripture. Do not go where you're not wanted. In verse 14, it says, "If you're not welcome, do not fight for a seat at the table. Do not persuade anyone. Do not do any of those things. If you are not welcome, take the blessing with you. Shake the dust off your feet as you leave. As you leave, and go where you are welcome." So I just encourage you that if you're in an environment where you're feeling triggered, where you're not welcome, where you're defending yourself, where you're proving your worth to someone, I want you to remember these scriptures. Understand the environment. Be aware of the environment that you're in, and be as harmless as doves. Do not curse anyone. Do not put up a fight. Do not debate. Do not cause a standoff. Leave. Verse 14 says, if you are not welcome by any town, right, by any neighbors, leave where you're at. I don't care if this is a workplace. I don't care where this is at, a friendship. Leave where you are not welcome, because I promise you that as you go down the road, as you go down the line, you will meet a place where you're welcome. Even in the instructions, it says, he tells the disciples, do not take anything. Don't take a traveler's bag. Don't take clothes for anything. find a worthy family and stay with them. So if you keep staying where you're not welcome and you're stressing and you're causing more harm to yourself than anything, I promise you that when you leave that situation and you keep being aware of your surroundings, you just keep living, you will find a worthy friendship. You will find a worthy relationship, a worthy workplace, a worthy home that will give you peace and everything that you need. And that is the good news.